knowing that I'm not really contributing to this sort of thing happening to me. It's just circumstances that's largely beyond my control, guys. Uh, you know, um, it's like if I were an addict, okay, and I keep saying it over and over because like addicts do bring a huge chunk of their misery onto themselves. That's just friggin' that's a fact of life. I mean, they whatever caused them to get hooked onto the various drugs and the things that they get hooked onto, sort of thing. I see it around town all the time now, guys. Um, they bring on a huge chunk, a huge portion of their own misery, sort of thing. But I mean, I don't do those things. I mean, what I get from the government to live off, and this has been the way it's been ever since I've been on my own for 40 years now, just over 40 years. I manage to the best of my ability, whatever it is that the government decides to give me, and whatever I can get out of that, and however I can manage myself on it, sort of thing. So I do my very level best to live within my means. And every single thing you see here right now, guys, I pointed this out before. This couch and chair set here, these two things. This mini bar, you would say, like, why in the fucking hell do you have a mini bar? Well, I don't no real need for it, guys. I got that just before I had to move on my last place, sort of thing. And I just saw it at Habitat for Humanity Restore. I thought it was a gorgeous piece of furniture, and my housemate helped me to buy it, sort of thing. It looked quite nice within the last. You can see the old videos of it. Where I had to set up at my last place, sort of thing. And so when I was forced to move out of the other place, I said no. I just got this damn thing. It's a beautiful piece of furniture. It really adds a look and a character to the place. Wherever I move to, sort of thing. I want to try to hold on to it if I can. So it's that. There's this piece of furniture here, guys. One of my main pieces of furniture, shelving units that I wanted to keep, to put in another place. Another smaller shelving unit here, my dinette set here, sort of thing, guys. The older style, 80s style wooden dinette set and all the rest of it, sort of thing. What else? Just smaller shelving units behind there, cabinets and so on there. This thing right here, guys, I made this freaking damn thing myself. It's a beautiful piece of furniture. I think I did a pretty damn good job for myself. So I think I didn't want to get rid of something I made myself, that I put some time and effort into, sort of thing. I wanted to hold on to that, sort of thing. So and all my that there. I think that's the only thing, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly now, that I bought brand new, guys. I think I spent $50 for that canvas at Piper's department store. That's like a local chain of department stores here in Newfoundland. And so I got that brand new, and it was at my second last place before I made my last move that I bought that for. So I've had that for quite a while now, well over 10 years now, 10, 11, 12 years. But even be pushing 15 years, I've had that one now, guys. But all these other pictures you see here and so on, that, little things up on the walls, all those pictures there, all those pictures, those shelves I made myself, bought the brackets for and all the rest of it, sort of thing. So my point being, guys, every single solitary thing that I have to my name, I've gotten secondhand. None of it's new. It's all secondhand stuff. Try to find the best quality secondhand stuff that I can find, and bits and pieces here and there and so on that, like over the years, sort of thing. So, when you go about gathering stuff around you that way, and you don't have a lot of money to work with anyway to begin with, and then you have massive setbacks like I had there 3 years ago, where stuff that I bought that I was hoping to have for years to come, sort of thing, just basically ripped away from me because I couldn't bring it with me, sort of thing. Like that is massively upsetting. Because, you buy things because you like them, and then you have to let go of them as well because you can't take them with you, sort of thing, And then the financial, the financial loss, or whatever you want to put it, investment, or whatever you want to call it, that you put into these things, just thrown out through the window, sort of thing, So I said, I have to hold on to as much of the basic furnishings that I need to hold on to have something to work with when I move into my next apartment. Hopefully I'm going to get into an apartment sometime in the near future, sort of thing. And I'm going to have an empty apartment to move into because I'll have stuff to take with me, sort of thing, There's that, and the fact there's if I've already invested hundreds and hundreds of dollars into stuff and just had to give it away or lose it for whatever reason, sort of thing, and then start all over again, it's who wants that? I mean, working people don't want that. You don't want to be going through those kinds of expenses unnecessarily if you can avoid it. So. So again, like I see myself as doing things in the exact same way as any ordinary person, guys, would do things as you're trying to establish yourself in life, trying to get ahead in life, trying to make yourself halfway comfortable in life, sort of thing. Every freaking cent that I get to my name doesn't go out to smokes, cigarettes, and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't go out to booze and all that sort of thing. It doesn't go out to drugs and all that sort of stuff. It goes into things for my life, for my benefit, for my comfort and all of it, just so I can have a certain measure of comfort and pleasantness and so on that around me. So I mean, yes, I'm on government assistance, but that's the only thing that marks me as being different from anybody else who's working and got a much better income coming in and can provide better stuff for themselves. I'm saying, like, I've got more or less the same kind of mentality. Beyond the fact that I just happen to be on government assistance and have very little to work with to begin with. I'm no different other than that. So I always like to share my life story, guys, because I like to see myself, I do see myself as being amongst a percentage of people. What that percentage is, guys, I have no way of knowing for certain. Here in Canada, down in the States, all around the world or whatever, any place that has government programs and try to help their citizens and invest their citizens and all the rest of it, and that's all they have to work with. Lose my train of thought now. That happens to be an awful lot too, guys. I mean, it's like I say, it's no different. I mean, we represent a percentage of people that aren't drug addicts. It's important for me to say that because, like, the world sees every single solitary person who is on government assistance, working people who've never felt the need to rely on government programs or government assistance or whatever, sees just about every single solitary soul that does live off government assistance as lazy, as they must be squandering their money on drugs or alcohol. They don't want to work and all that sort of stuff, and just being a drain on society and so on and so forth. And and while it is true, because I see it myself all the time myself, I can't not say it's not happening. There is a significant number of people that misuse the money that government gives them for that very thing, and they don't get ahead, and they still end up on the street. There is still a certain percentage of us that live like any other person and try to live like any other person and try to get stuff around us and pay our bills and meet our needs to the best of our ability and so on. And we don't waste our money on crap like that sort of thing, Everything I'm wearing here right now, guys, it's all about the second-hand sort of thing, I mean, I can dress myself up at halfway decent, I think better looking actually than a lot of people, way a lot of people dress nowadays sort of thing, in second-hand clothes. I go to the second-hand department stores, whatever, and just buy, the good quality stuff, shirts that are in good shape, pants that are in good shape, and got a good style and fit me well and all the rest of it sort of thing, and try to match it up well and all that sort of stuff. And, it's because my overall aim, guys, is not to look like a bloody bum, okay? And anything I'm saying here right now, I'm not trying to offend a single solitary soul by saying anything I'm saying here. I'm talking about myself, my own life, my own mentality, the way I perceive myself, the way I like to try to project myself sort of thing. And so when I see myself and it looks as though I got a bit of a bummish look about me any particular day because maybe I haven't shaven properly that day or sort of thing, or the combination of clothing I'm wearing probably doesn't fit me the best or just match up the best, or whatever the case might be. Like I'm letting my hair grow out longer now, guys, and with a bit of scruff on my face. That alone sometimes, just it gives me a bit of a bummish look. And the thing about this, guys, I suffer from a slight paranoia. I can't deny that. It's all connected with like whatever mental health issues that I'm working through, that born with, basically, because my mom had mental health issues, and I think I inherited those things from her. When I go out around, when I shop and all the rest of it sort of thing, I feel that the eyes are on me all the time. Now, whether they actually are or not, whether it's just pure paranoia on my part, I feel that the eyes are on me all the time. That no matter how I look, no matter how I present myself and so on and so forth, you're constantly, endlessly, forever being watched, sort of thing. And and that wears you down, guys. That wears me down anyway, and strips my dignity away from me, sort of thing. I have had run-ins before where people that have looked at as though they're suspicious or think I'm behaving suspiciously, sort of thing, and created probably awkward situations for myself a handful of times where I've confronted those people and I've asked them, like, are you checking me out here? Like, are you watching what I'm doing? Because if so, there's absolutely no freaking need for it, sort of thing. And like they feel awkward. They don't quite know how to respond. And well, I'm just here doing my job and blah blah blah. And sometimes though, the way they respond gives you a sense that maybe they were checking you out after all, sort of thing. And then I feel like saying, it's like how am I dressed here right now? What am I doing? Like, how am I giving this person the feeling that I'm up to something suspicious? Because I like to kind of like wake up window shop, sort of thing, guys. I like to browse around and check. Like when I go to a place, I might have some specific idea of some specific things that I want to get. When I go to that place, while I'm there, I'll browse around as well to see what else is on the go and all the rest of it. That's the way I've been. I'm worse than any woman going, as far as that sort of thing goes. And so it's all part of the shopping experience. So I've always thought, you just, when you're going to a place, yes, you have certain things in mind you want to buy, but while you're there, you're going to browse around, you're going to check other stuff out. You might end up buying more stuff by doing that, And so no point in being prevented from just checking out what's in the freaking store, So it is this whole entire atmosphere today, guys, where the issues in society, the drug issues, the homelessness issues, and not just, it's affecting the whole of Canada, it's affecting the whole of the United States, it's affecting pretty much everywhere around the freaking world. Now currently, because of stupid government policies and so on that are making things difficult for local people in various countries and so on, that to get work, to get ahead, to get housing and all the rest of it, sort of thing. It's going to be a topic for a whole bunch of other videos that I want to do down the road here, guys. I'm going to get into all this sort of stuff, sort of thing, as well, with like, the irresponsible immigration policies that we've had in recent years that have massively contributed to the issues going on in these more or less developed countries, but increasingly becoming underdeveloped, because of where these countries are being pushed economically and what they can do for their citizens and all the rest, because too many are getting pumped into these countries and overwhelming the systems and so on. And so the long-standing residents and people that have been in these countries for many generations and all the rest of it, you can't really say indigenous, I suppose, but whatever. I mean, like I've been in this country, guys, for 7 generations, 6 or 7 generations roughly, what I've been able to calculate for how many generations I'm aware of my family here in Newfoundland, here in Canada, sort of thing, 7 generations. So you're talking 150 to a better part of a couple hundred years or so that my family has been in this country, in this province, and in this country, sort of thing. Now, I mean, indigenous people will fly right in your face and say, well, what the hell is that? We've been here for thousands of years. You people came here and took everything over and took everything from us and all the rest of it, sort of thing. You got no right to scream or cry or get upset about anything. Look what you did to us and look what you took away from us, sort of thing. Like, I am super sensitive to that, guys. I really am. I have been in my entire life, sort of thing. But, I mean, it's like anything else. What are we going... what are we going? Siren's going off the now, guys. Whatever's going on around town here again now. It's twice a day now, but the siren's going again. It's non-stop here in town now, guys. What are we going to do? Like, where are we going to go? I mean, after being in this country for a century, a couple of centuries, you know, where in the heck are we supposed to go to now? Sort of thing. So my ancestry is Irish, to the best of my knowledge. 200 years, the better part of 200 years in this country. Am I going to be able to go back to Ireland now and try to uproot myself from here and go back to, let's say, my mother country and culture and all the rest of it sort of thing? Okay, I can tell Irish people that my ancestry is Irish, but I'm about 2 centuries removed from the Irish culture and so on. Are they going to embrace me like as a long lost cousin or brother or son or whatever that's coming back to the fold sort of thing? I don't know, you know. I mean, so the thing is, like, it's we're here now, and we have to stay here, and we have to make the best of the situation here, sort of thing. And we're not indigenous as such. But then again, who is indigenous? What is indigenous anyway, if you want to look at it that way? So, I mean, somebody who's been there for several thousand years, yes, I mean, my good God, they're much more indigenous than someone who's been here for 200 or 300 years, certainly. I mean, obviously, you know. But at some point, they too came here from some other place, you know. And so there's all kinds of ways to look at this, guys, where you could say, you know, like, okay, you're going to bitch about the newcomers coming here and taking this away from you, taking that away from you, the jobs, the housing, whatever the case might be, sort of thing. You know, it's like, you know, what gives you the freaking right to deprive these people, you know, of these things, you know, if they can have a better life for themselves in another place, whatever sort of thing, you know. And that's another way of looking at it, you know. But I mean, there are so many ways that you can view these things, guys. And so another way of looking at the current situation with the immigration issues and all the rest of it sort of thing, and they are becoming issues, they are becoming more and more intense issues for Canada, for the United States, for almost all of the nations of Europe sort of thing, because there are certain types of people being pumped into these countries that aren't beneficial to these countries, that are creating massive problems in these countries. They're not assimilating. They're not making any effort. They don't want to make any effort to try to improve the culture that the country and culture that they're moving into, sort of thing, and everybody is suffering all the more because of it, sort of thing. So I look at